Hello guys, welcome back to this channel and today we will discuss some other topics. In the few videos, we have covered majorly all the topics and I will teach these concepts in a very simple way. So firstly, we will study here the basics of functions. So functions, what are functions? Imagine you have to print similar words in the Python. So we have to print a word that is welcome to Python. So how we will print that word. So if we have to write that word 100 times, that will be difficult for us to print. So we will make use of the functions. So will you print the Python matlab, welcome to Python for the 100 times? It's not possible for a normal person to print. We will use this to print it 100 times. Instead we will create a function of that and then we will print that. Firstly, the function is defined in that way. Firstly, we will discuss the definition. What is function? Function is a reusable block of code that is capable of performing a specific task. We can perform a specific task by reusing the block of code. We can reuse the code again and again. The block of code that is being reused, it is known as a function. It is used to perform a specific task. It majorly helps to reduce the code repetition, make the program easy like we are reading the program. It makes us easy to read that program because with the help of functions, it makes debugging easy also. It is very easy. It improves the debugging. We can also organize the large project with the help of function. So why functions? In this, it is asking that why we should use the function. Without function, like print, we have to, if we want to print the different words like hello, welcome, Python, and again later we have to print these hello, welcome, Python. The same code is repeated again and again, and we are writing the same line of code again and again. So to lessen this process, uh, lessen the line of code, we will firstly use the function and we can write we can't have to write the code again and again. We can use the first code with itself. So with function we have to write def greet. This def greet is a function. So it will print hello, print welcome, and print Python. So instead of using the code lines again and again, we can firstly write it in a function. So greet and lastly we will greet two times. One function can be called many times. Now this greet is calling the function. If we have to call a function, we will use the greet. It will a function that can be called as many as times that we want to call that function. So real life analogy. What is the real life analogy? Think of a washing machine. Suppose there is a washing machine. Have to start that washing machine. So when we have to start that washing machine, firstly we will start the press button washing machine. Then the machine performs many steps internally, like pressing the start button. Similarly, firstly if we so let's take an example from our real life. So firstly, if we want to wash our clothes, firstly we will suppose there is a washing machine. When we start that button to run that washing machine, there are so many functions, so many steps that a machine performs internally. So, firstly, if we want to spin the clothes, we will click the button on the spin knob, so that makes the machine spin the clothes. So there are many steps that the machine performs internally. We are not able to see those processes. So similarly, when you call, it will greet. Greet is used to call a function. Similarly, Python for all the statement inside that function. Python, a function is used to perform all the statements. So what's the syntax of a function? We will read the syntax. Def function name. Firstly, we will use the def keyword. Then we will use the function name. Next is we use the statement. Example. We will use this with the help of an example. Firstly, def. Then the function name is hello, and then brackets. Then colon. Brackets must be empty. So we will print the hello students. Now we will call the function hello. Means this function name should be called after writing the print statement. Then the output will come hello students. So I will give you an example of this type of VS Code by writing this. So firstly, if we define a function, so def function, what is the name of the function? Hello, suppose there is a function name hello. We will print hello students. So next, firstly we will have to use the brackets that is very important in a function. If function name brackets colon, then we will print students. Then we will call the function by using call command. So this is the call command. So similarly like this, we have written all the code. So let's execute the code and see what's the output of this. Let's run this code. Output here comes is hello students. So you can see that if we have to call the function, so the output will be the called function. So in the similar way, if we change the statement like we have to print Python, we will run this code, so it will print Python. So in the similar way, we can print any of the thing we want to print in function. So next is understanding def. Def is def is a keyword that is used to create a function. We can create a function by using a def keyword. Def keyword is used in the beginning of a function and it is used to create a function. Like here, we have used the def keyword. It is used to create the function. Next is function naming rules. Function name rules are the most common variable naming rules and the correct rules that are student. The student should be uh, starting from an alphabetical order. Alphabetical dictionary from alphabets. So it is the correct order of writing. So there should be no space in between the function. So we have used underscore instead of giving the space in calculate marks. So this is also correct. So the wrong function name is the one starting with a digit. We can't use the function name starting with a digit, or we can't use hyphen in between the function name or in the starting of function name or in the end of function name. We can't use that hyphen. So next is function call. Creating functions. Firstly, we will how to create a function we will see in this. Firstly, we will define the welcome means function name. Then we will print that function. Then we will call that function. Nothing happens until the function is called. Suppose this example, if we will see the def hello print, suppose we will not write this. What will be there in the print statement? Nothing will be printed. Like we will see here, if we will run this code, nothing is printed. So because we haven't called this function yet, so by calling the function hello, we will be able to print this code. So now it is able to print the Python. Firstly, we will not calling this function. That's why we were not able to print that function. So calling the function is very important in Python if we have defined the function with a function name. So the multiple function calls are def hello, print hello. So these are the multiple function calls. Means we can call the function multiple times like we have discussed in the previous lecture. So we can call the function multiple times and the multiple times it will be printed. Suppose we can see here, so we call this function right here my programming. So firstly, if we have written my programming, we will call this function as hello. We can call it multiple times. So I will call it 4 times. Next, we will again write hello. After writing this, calling this function for 4 times, let's print this. We will run this code and it will be printed 4 times. So by calling the function 4 times, we can print the same thing 4 times. So this is the advantage of calling the function. Without calling the function, we can't print any of this. So what are the parameters? Firstly, definition is parameters are the variables written while defining a function. So parameter when we are defining a function, so the variables that are written are known as parameters. The values given to the function while defining a function, the values given to the variables means like here we have given the parameter as name. Name is the parameter. Means greet this greet name hello print hello name. So we will print the name. The name is the parameter. Means it makes the code easier that we are greeting it with name. Let's print this also. Def greet hello. Next we will use name. Name is the parameter. So we will use parameter instead of this empty package. So after this we will anything which we want to. So after that, we will call this name hello. And after that, we will give the parameter to this. Parameter is name. So we will create this. Let's run this program. I think there is an error. Let's discuss in the another questions we are going to do afterwards. So let's make it a fusion question. So next is the arguments. What are arguments? Arguments are the actual values passed by calling the function. So the actual values which we are passing while we are calling the function is known as arguments, like greet Rahul. So this Rahul is an argument. The values we are passing while calling that function that are known as arguments. Next is example. Example, see this is def square of a number. So put number into number. Square is gap 5 comma. So this 5 is the argument. So when we are calling the function, we will call the function in the last. This is calling the function and the value that we have inserted in this brackets. This value is known as argument. So suppose we will see this with an example. Def square number column. print, print what we have to print, print the square of a number. So if we want to print the square of a number, we will multiply the number multiple times with the help of this asterisk. Asterisk is used to multiply that number. So we will write number as into number. So after that, if we are calling this square, it is calling the function. So in the value we want to insert, that becomes the argument. So if we have to find the square of 5, 5 square is 25. So let's suppose here we have to pass the value 6. So if we print 36, here is the output 36. So if we are passing the value, so it will be print in the value that we are passing in this function, calling function, that value square will be multiplied with this numbers, and we will get the result as 36. So next is multiple parameters. What are multiple parameters? So firstly we will define or add addition A and B. With A plus B we have to add. We can also pass the multiple parameter like we have passed here A comma B. So if we print A plus B, so it will add the two values which we have passed two parameters. It will add these. So let's see it with another example. For example, suppose we have to add A comma B comma C comma D. We have to add four values. So we will print what we have, A plus B plus C plus D. Now here it is given at 10 20, so we will assume two more values for C and D. So add 10, 30, and 40. So we have to add these values. So now we will print the result. By running this code, we can see that the sum of these four numbers A, B, C, D are 100. So we can print any number of parameters here. Like if we define E, F, G, H, means now we will plus add E, F, G, H. So now we will give the values 50, 60, 70, and 80. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Four of 8 values are defined and we have to add these values. So the sum is 360. Adding these values, the sum will be 360. Now, what is the returning value? Sometimes the function gives the output back. So the output, like sometimes if we define the addition of two numbers like a comma b, so return a plus b. So this return a plus b is the returning value. So the result is add a 5 and 7. So print the result. So we will get 12. So this is the returning value which we have got. So what's the difference using print def add a comma b? Print we have to add this. So this is using print. So using return, what's the difference? We can define and add a comma b, then we will return a plus b. That's what return stores result. It's only display. So the result return is used to store the result. It only print. So print, the print statement only displays. The return store the result. So this is the major difference we are getting by using the print statement and the return statement inside a function. Function returning string. Now there is a function we have defined. We want to return a string in that function. Like def college, return LPU. So if we want to print the college, it will be the return. Suppose we will write this code, VS Code, college, LPU. So we have return. So in this we are using the return value. So we will start return LPU. So LPU is a string, so it must be enclosed in double quotes. So we have return. So now we will print the college. So printing this value, we will get the result as LPU. So this is a string. So enclosing the string in double quotes is a very important thing which we have to make sure that we enclose. We can not enclose a string without the double quotes. That's the major part. And if we didn't close this in double quotes, so it will give us an error. So like now we will not be able to print because we haven't enclosed this. LPU is not defined because we haven't used the double quotes here. So by using the double quotes, we can get rid of this error. Now it's printing LP. So this is basically function returning a string. Now the function returning boolean. So what is boolean value? Boolean value is like true, false. These two statements are the boolean value. So this will check that whether the statement we are passing is true or false. If this is true, it will return true, and if it's wrong, it will return false. So def check, return true, print check. So this is the syntax of returning boolean value. What are local variables? Variable created inside the function. Like def test x is equal to 10, print x. So outside function is print x. So this is the outside function. So error is because x exists only inside the function. So x is existing only inside the function, that is x is equal to 10. So the next is scope means where variable can be used. What is scope is where we can use the variable that is known as scope, just means local scope inside the function only. So next, flow of execution. Flow of execution means define first, print start, and we will call this first. So it will print end. So output is start, first, and end. The next is built-in functions. Built-in functions are Python already provides the function example, len, or type. So these are built-in functions like print statement, len. Print statement is used to print the statement we have already defined. So length is used to find the length of the line or digits or what we have to find it. We can find the length of that statement. So type also is a built-in function. Input means giving the input, maximum means finding what's the largest digit or number of character in that given string or character. So minimum is used to find the smallest. Sum is used to find the sum or addition of two numbers or three numbers or four numbers, etc. So user-defined function. What is user-defined function? Created by a programmer. So user-defined function are created by a program. Example, if welcome, print welcome. So yeah, this we will define first the welcome, so it will print welcome. These are the user-defined created by programmer. So what's the advantages? We can reuse the code, or there is less coding, easy, better readability, we can read the code in an easier way, modular programming. These all are the advantages. So it's a common mistake. Suppose sometimes we forgot to put this brackets. So this is the most important. We forgot to call that function. So the correct is hello brackets. This is the calling the function hello syntax. So the wrong indentation like def hello, uh, this colon print hi. This is also wrong. The correct is def hello colon print. So in this the difference is that we have used the wrong indentation. Firstly, defining the function. Here we have defined the function. So next we started the print statement below the step. So this is wrong because we have to leave four spaces. That is, we have to place the top space if we want to print the high. So in the next, it is leaving the four spaces. So it is the correct indentation. So nextly, we will start the chapter second, that is keyword arguments. What is keyword argument? Normally, we pass the arguments by position, like def name. So print name. If we have to find the age at second, so we will print the age as second. So when we call the function student, we will write the variable values in a vertical order. Means we will use the positions like we have firstly defined the name. So we will write a name first. If we have defined the age in the second time, so we will write the age in the second. So Python assign values according to the order. So next up, what is keyword argument? Instead of order, we will pass the variable name. Like student age is equal to 20, name is equal to Aman. So here we don't have to take the ordering sequence like we have to if we have defined the name because we have already defined the name as Aman and age is 20, so we don't need to get in the correct order. So the output will be Aman and 20. Order does not matter in keyword arguments. So here if we define, so here order doesn't matter. Next is positional arguments. What is positional arguments? Like student Rahul 19. So here the age is 19 and the name is Rahul. We have used the positions here like age keyword arguments at this point we have used the positions and next we have used the keywords. The keywords used here are age and name for defining the age and name. So advantages of these keywords are better readability. But the advantage of keyword argument is we can read the code in a better way. It is easier for us to understand or the person who is reading the code. So it is ordered independent and less confusion. It creates less confusion because if we use the this keyword arguments, positional arguments, so it will be difficult for us to understand the code. Next is mixing positional and keyword arguments. So we can also mix this keyword and positional arguments like student Rahul age 20. So the wrong is name Rahul and age. So this is wrong because I think it's syntax error because positional arguments cannot come after keyword arguments. So positional arguments always come before the keyword arguments. So if we want to define the positional and keyword argument in a single function, we have to place the positional arguments before the keyword arguments. Like here we have Rahul, this is the name, but we haven't assigned it name is equal to Rahul. So this will not give us error because in this we have defined or placed the positional argument before the keyword argument. So this is the correct and this is the wrong order because here we have defined the positional argument after the keyword argument. So what are multiple keyword arguments? Multiple keyword arguments like details, name, age, city. So print name, age or city. The details are city Delhi, age 20 and name Rahul. So the common ones are missing arguments like these. So next we will do the coding questions.